The design process of an architect, interior designer, or landscape architect might seem complicated, long-winded, maybe even overkill for your project, but it's actually the best way to get you and your family the home that you're looking for. In this video, I'll walk you through the steps and tell you why. Stay tuned. Hey, Jake with JWK Design here, helping families just like yours create their comfortable, modern home. On this channel, you'll find videos on tips for finding a good contractor, great landscape design ideas, and videos about the design process just like this one. If you're new here, consider subscribing below and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a video. Every design professional approaches their projects differently, even down to the pens and paper they use, the software that they use for 3D modeling, font styles, dimension styles, presentation styles, you name it. But they all follow a relatively similar design process, taking your wants and needs, turning them into rough concepts, then adapting those to your structure, each room in your house, every square foot of your landscape, say, and distilling those down into detailed documents that you can use for permit and construction. You might think of it like this camera lens, where the object is a little fuzzy, but the general concept is there, and as you zoom in, your plan becomes clearer and clearer until finally you see all the details. Every project starts with a concept and programming phase. This is as much gathering information as it is starting to develop the design concept. Your designer will take your wants and needs, as well as the images that you've saved online or clipped from magazines. You'll start to discuss your overall budget. If you're renovating an existing home or landscape, your designer will create as-built drawings to document and show the existing conditions. There's also a fair bit of research into your local codes so the designer can understand what you can and can't build on the property. And finally, there's an overall site analysis looking at drainage, existing trees and landscape, how the sun moves across your site and creates shade patterns. They'll also take the views out to your neighbors into account, as well as soil conditions. Next is the schematic design phase, where your floor plans, building elevations, and landscape layout starts to take shape. These may be hand sketches, or your designer may choose to begin to put information into a CAD program. They may also start to generate 3D models so you can get a good understanding of what you're building. Ideally, you'll also start to talk about which contractors you'll need to get the project built, and your designer should be able to provide recommendations. The next phase is design development, where your plans are refined even further. You'll start to look at specific material choices, begin to fine-tune the dimensions of your spaces, and even identify door and window types. This is the phase where you'll typically bring in outside engineering consultants for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, and civil. And at this stage, your plans should all be computer generated so that you can start to get ballpark cost estimates from contractors. You'll bring your plans into further focus in the construction document phase. The plans produced here will have a full set of notes and dimensions associated with them, and the plans you might expect to see would include your site plan, floor plans, building elevations and sections, construction details, reflected ceiling plans, the detailed plans from your engineering consultants, detailed planting and irrigation layouts, landscape lighting, hardscape plans. You'll also nail down your final materials and fixture schedules. At the end of the CD phase, your plans will be ready for permits, for shop drawings, and for contractor bids. And the next phase, of course, is bidding. If you've gone through a more traditional process where you've worked through your plans with just a design team, you should plan to send out your drawings to multiple contractors so you can compare different costs. If you've worked with a single design build firm, where both the design and construction are covered under one contract, this bidding and estimating process would have been going on all along. And the final phase with your designer is construction administration and management. I always recommend that your designer is involved in some capacity during construction, whether that's once a month site visits or being involved in weekly job site meetings with you and your contractor. This way, if and when changes occur during construction, you and your designer can make the best decisions to keep the project moving forward. Towards the end of the project, your designer should be involved in a punch list walk. A punch list is something like the final inspection before the final inspection. where you and your designer will review the condition of all the finishes as well as all those little details that you worked out during the design process to make sure that you get the home that you paid for. Now, I will say that some firms, especially in residential design, may choose to combine some of these phases or even give them different names, but I think it's important for you to understand all of the iterations that a designer goes through in taking your project from concept to construction. Please let me know if you thought this video was helpful by leaving a comment below or sharing it with a friend. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until the next time, see ya.